Good news, everyone. Bethesda is keeping the clown show going hard.
Earlier today, Xbox and Bethesda announced the 2024 Developer Direct. This is happening on January 18th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and get subscribed because I'll definitely be covering whatever we see. And this will mark the second year of their brand new event, where we get a look at some of their upcoming games, but also a larger focus on hearing from the developers of those games. If you never have seen the Developer Direct, it was a bit less rapid fire with its game showcases and instead more deliberate. And I think this time around,
I have never seen this. This is the first time, by the way, I even hear about it.
we have a pretty great one. Confirmed to be attending is Oxide Games with Ara History Untold, Ninja Theory with Hellblade 2, but the most interesting for viewers of this channel, Obsidian with Avowed, and Machine Games with Indiana.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Obsidian, good stuff. And I am kind of excited about Avowed, if you did not know. And if you do not know what Avowed is, then, well, check out my channel. Avowed honestly looks kind of great. It looks like it has potential.
Jones. And we've even just gotten further leaks and
Avowed Indiana Jones. Oh, I can't wait for it. Oh, it's gonna be as good as the Diary of Destiny. I bet people are excited for the Avowed Indiana Jones game. Yeah, that's not gonna be horrible at all.
rumors that Indiana Jones is coming this year, and the fact that Todd Howard is closely involved with the development of Indiana Jones will either make you
Is a huge red flag, yes.
even more excited for this game, or perhaps less excited depending on how you currently feel about Starfield. We already knew that Avowed was slated to come out at some point in 2024, but with the timing of the Direct, I wouldn't be shocked if either Indiana Jones or Avowed releases before this summer. We might be playing some of these games in just the next few months, or maybe even just next week. One of the huge successes of last year's Developer Direct was
Okay, by the way, Avowed is based off of Pillars of Eternity or Creation, whatever the name is. But that's a really good role-playing game, but now in first/third person, which is going to be really good. There's going to be options, there's going to be so good. Avowed could actually be a big thing.
the surprise releasing of Hi-Fi Rush right after the show. This went on to be a critical and financial success for Xbox and Bethesda, and rumor has it that another surprise game will be dropping this year. So it's incredibly likely that in addition to all of these, there's going to be a secret fifth developer at the Developer Direct. But the first game that we absolutely need to look at is Indiana Jones. Xbox describes how this game is an action-adventure that puts the player in the leather jacket of the legendary archaeologist. Developer Direct will showcase more than 10 minutes of game and developer insights, including details about the game's setting and story, how fans will actually play as Indy, additional details from his next global...
They actually mean female Indy. Don't get it twisted. There's no way that this is gonna be good.
trotting adventure and the premiere of the first gameplay trailer. So it'll be a somewhat familiar action-adventure experience where you will be playing as Indiana Jones, and it seems like here we are getting a proper gameplay.
Indiana Jones is as dead as a Star Wars, as dead as a Doctor Who, as dead as the MCU, as dead as Starfield. Relax, it's not gonna be good. Again, if you're excited about that, I'm sorry, but there's no shot it ends up being good.
Reveal. They describe 10 minutes of both game and developer insights, so likely cutting back and forth between the two, but also explicitly a gameplay trailer, with Machine Games themselves having described this as the gameplay reveal for Indiana Jones. So hopefully this means no CGI nonsense, but a proper look at what this game will actually be and play like. And we have learned some pretty interesting details about this game from some of the previous Todd Howard interviews. It's a bit of a different situation where...
Oh boy, we're gonna trust Todd Howard? How about we just trust Satan instead? I mean, at least he sometimes doesn't lie, unlike Todd Howard.
Todd Howard is a die-hard Indiana Jones fan, and actually
Yeah, and he's also a die-hard Fallout fan, and look at how that ended. Oh, he's also a die-hard Starfield fan, and look at how that ended.
pitched Lucasfilm on an Indiana Jones game all the way back in 2009. As you can imagine, that didn't work out, but then in 2019, things started to come back around, and that idea for an Indiana Jones game from Todd Howard came up again. But Todd Howard himself describes how he felt that Machine Games would be a better fit to create this game than his own team at Bethesda Game Studios. But
Well, I wouldn't trust Bethesda Game Studios with anything at this point. So, I mean, you see a homeless man on the street? Congratulations. that's my new main developer for whatever game instead of Bethesda. Because he can probably... Oh, and he overdosed. Well, I guess his corpse is still a better game developer than Bethesda anyway, so, hey, it is what it is.
Todd Howard himself is still involved in this project as an executive producer, and seemingly he came up with the core idea of what this game would be. So now, as development is ongoing, Todd Howard describes Machine Games as the perfect fit for storytelling and how they record it. He described this as a love letter to Indiana Jones that is a mashup of genres that has its own unique thing. Reportedly, they're trying some stuff that both Todd Howard and Machine Games have been thinking about for a while. So diving a bit deeper into that, you have to assume the game will be predominantly first person, based off some of the past releases from Machine Games, but also seemingly have a focus on puzzles.
Oh, look at that. It's this game. You know, the one that did really well and people loved a lot. Oh, wait. Whoa, who would have expected?
Or clearing out dungeons in a unique way. That's, of course, a core part of Indiana Jones. So perhaps here we see this interesting genre mesh of almost a puzzle platformer on top of a traditional story-based action-adventure game. But beyond that, we did hear just last year how Todd Howard would be ready to share more about this title in 2024, which to me is pretty interesting. Now with the developer direct news out there, we have seen not only Insider Gaming come out to say Indiana Jones is coming in 2024, but also Shinobi, who describes how he's not shocked to see Indy at this showcase because of when it is coming out. And that point is honestly pretty valid. Most of us assumed Indiana Jones would be at the big summer showcase, but popping up in January is definitely pretty interesting. Could we actually be playing this game before summer? And that's why it's here at the Developer Direct in January. This game has been in development for about 5 years now, and in general there are definitely quite a few signs pointing towards a potential 2024 release, like this leaked Bethesda roadmap. Everything on this was delayed a couple of years, but everything prior to Indiana Jones in fiscal years 20 and 21 has already come out now, and if anything, it seems like several other things for this 2022 fiscal year are slated to come out in 2024. So yeah, developer direct news aside, it definitely seems likely that Indiana Jones is dropping later this year. But speaking of 2024 releases, we of course also have Avowed, the next major game attending the developer direct. The showcase for Avowed is described as being the first deep dive into the gameplay experience fans can expect in Avowed, with deep themes, dynamic gameplay, and thoughtful reactivity, which come to life in Avowed, where players will have agency to make choices to shape every step of their adventure. And that does appear to be a major design consideration with Avowed. When you arrive in the world of Aora as an Imperial envoy, you're tasked with investigating this new plague that just popped up. And in past interviews, it was described how Avowed...
Admittedly, I think Avowed is not going to be bad, but here is a giant red flag about Avowed already, okay? When you start your typical role-playing game, for example, Fallout, and well, except 4, honestly, in this situation, in Fallout or whatever, you're a blank slate. You get to be with whoever you want, you get to create a story of whoever you please. But here, a big red flag is the fact that you're already starting as an Imperial envoy. Yeah, not much roleplay options right there, huh? That's strange. Yeah, that's bad. That is a red flag, though. The fact that you're starting as an Imperial envoy, like, what kind of role-playing game is this? How am I playing as a Imperial envoy? Is that it? Like, the least choice you make, the worse it becomes. Like, for example, Fallout 4. You're a parent. That's who you are role-playing as, and you're supposed to care about a kid or whatever. Okay? And there's no way to escape it. That is fundamentally flawed role-playing, because you're not starting from a blank slate, you're starting from an already made mesh that has shit on it for some reason. Bethesda, you should clean up. Anyway, yeah, that is, well, in this case, it's not Bethesda, it's Obsidian, but, you know, point still stands. Honestly, is it going to be the biggest deal? Probably not. The same way that people didn't actually care about the fact that you start, you know, as a parent and your whole life objective is to get back your kid, and nothing makes sense in Fallout 4, right? But, again, it is a weaker point to start off as. If you start as nobody, that's good. That's what you want to do as a role player, right? That's what you want to do in a game where you carve out your own personality of a character. Not start as something. Because that's bad roleplay.
Avowed will be more focused on depth than breadth. Quests that reward experimentation, exploration, likely with a huge amount of replayability. It seems like Avowed will definitely be a bit of a smaller scale game. We heard how there's only going...
It just sounds honestly to me like they're saying, don't worry, we're making Fallout New Vegas because you like that. And that's good,
to be 2 playable races with humans and elves. There's no skills in Avowed. Instead, you'll unlock new abilities that define your character and actually give you something new to do, likely some kind of combat-related abilities that you can unlock as you progress.
Nice.
And this isn't going to be a full-on open world, but instead there'll be open world zones.
This was one of my red flags, okay? So, you see this? This is spellcasting. Spellcasting like this works in third person. If you're casting something big as this, you need third person. Because in first person, well, this is what it looks like. Kind of underwhelming shit. You need third person to cast big spells like this. So this is something that's gonna... Well, it's not gonna be a deal breaker, but it's definitely gonna be annoying. And again, the less annoying things, the more good things are in the game, the better the game is. Wow, who would have expected, right? So stuff like this is questionable.
In world zones you can explore.
Yeah, you see, looks decent from a third-person perspective, but looks ass from the first-person perspective. It is what it is.
And the scale of Avowed was compared to that of the Knights of the Old Republic 2 or even the Outer Worlds. It's not quite as sprawling as Skyrim. I think for a lot of fans, this was a bit of a shock. We went from this...
It's not a big deal if it's not as sprawling as Skyrim. Not a big deal at all. Most people don't visit all locations. Anyway, so... If you visit new locations in your second playthrough, that's good.
Darker, almost Skyrim-esque experience to seeing something far more colorful that's described as being a bit smaller scale. Obsidian describes how early on Avowed was their take on Skyrim, but they since pivoted to what they consider their strengths with another smaller scale story like the Outer Worlds. And we also heard reports about how Avowed had some internal reworks during development, and that's like...
A lot of people did not like Outer Worlds at all. They called it shit. I mean, it was underwhelming. Yeah, sure, I guess. But, I mean, it wasn't shit. Relax.
A contributing factor here. So I have to imagine the 2024 Developer Direct will finally give us a concrete idea of what Avowed actually is. There was a ton of pushback after that last trailer, and I think there are just fan confusion over what happened. So now, getting a deeper dive where we get to hear directly from the devs, it seems like this is Obsidian's chance to really respond to all of that fan pushback. And Avowed is a game that I could certainly see coming in the next couple of months. Even with some redesigns, we have seen how Avowed begun development all the way back in 2018, and past rumors even had it as an early 2023 release. So early 2024 seems like a very realistic release timeframe, but of course, as of right now, all we know is it's coming out in 2024 at some point. Hellblade 2 will also be here. This is another action-adventure title that actually just got a pretty big trailer at the Game Awards just last month, and as such, it seems like this segment will be much more heavier on developer interviews and insights. It's described how the team will speak to the ambition and meticulous care involved in creating Senua's journey.
I have no idea what Hellblade is, but if it's gonna be a strong, independent woman that doesn't need no man and fists fights everyone and just brutally murders them because She-Hulk energy, I'll pass. I'll just pass, okay? I'll pass. And so will a lot of people.
Journey of survival. Hellblade 2 is also slated for release in 2024, so I imagine we get a proper release date here. And then lastly, at least for the announced participants, we have Oxide Games with Aura History Untold. This is a new historical grand strategy game from the developers of Civilization 5. And at the Developer Direct, they will unveil...
I have not heard about this at all.
...exclusive new gameplay and share more details about the inspiration, key features, and road ahead for...
Ooh. I thought, why are they calling it a historic game when you see a city here? Okay, so this is gonna be more or less probably like Anno? Was the game title Anno? I don't remember. I didn't play it too long. I played it, I liked it, but it kind of seems like that. Look at this.
Features and road ahead for their upcoming historical grand strategy game. So now personally, I'm a gigantic Civilization fan and really just a strategy game fan in general. So I am incredibly excited for this game, but it's
Dude, I love city builders. And by the way, if you're looking for a survival city builder that's actually hard, go play Against the Storm. Really recommend it. Really great. Really good. Okay, Against the Storm on Steam. Indie development company, doesn't cost, I think it doesn't cost a lot. No DLCs at the moment, and it's really, really hot. I mean, Prestige 20, 1.5% of people have finished it on Prestige 20. I'm one of them. It is really challenging.
Not something I would typically cover on this channel, but in all likelihood we're going to see new gameplay as well as get a concrete release date for our History Untold. But like I mentioned a bit earlier,
wait, what did we just see here?
Excited for this game, but it's not something I would typically cover on this channel, but in all likelihood we're going to see new gameplay as well as get a concrete...
This? Wait, is this the Vogue thing? Oh no, is this actually the Vogue thing? I remember there being talks about something Civ Vogue where your leaders are trans or something like that. Is this it? Could this actually be it? Damn, maybe this is complete trash. Because there was one kind of something revolving around civilization and being complete garbage, you know. You got your trans leaders and stuff like that and blah blah blah, where you literally will have to be forced to actually take on progressive ideology unless you want to suffer negative penalties for some reason. Bro, maybe this is it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But it's I just heard about it. I didn't look into it. But is this it?
Release date for our History Untold. But like I mentioned a bit earlier, it's also incredibly likely that there is a secret 5th participant at the Developer Direct. Last year we got the exact same process of 4 attendees being announced ahead of time, but at the event itself we saw Tango Gameworks as a surprise guest, and of course they shadow dropped Hi-Fi Rush. And even on this teaser image, there's a gigantic space right in the center where another developer would nicely fit. And I think there's a few plausible choices here. Bethesda Game Studios is definitely one of them. They are only an hour drive from Oxide Games, so it certainly would be convenient filming.
Bro, Bethesda's not making it, okay? Bethesda's not Everyone knows Bethesda is not making it. Xbox currently is waking up and having night terrors about the fact that they paid $8 billion for this garbage, okay? Yeah, how much did they pay? I think they paid $8 billion or something like that for it. It was ridiculous. Like, and now they understood, oh, they're waking up with cold sweat every night because they remember that they bought Bethesda and it was an absolute failure. Come on.
Wise, and with the current rumor that this 5th developer will shadow drop something either the same day or perhaps a couple of weeks later, I think Bethesda Game Studios would fit in really well here. Bethesda has consistently been reiterating that Starfield mod support is coming early in 2024. We know
So the big announcement is going to be... No.
Starfield's next update is coming in early February. Could we actually see that all here? A teaser of the Starfield mod support with an update release date slated for mid to early February.
It could unironically though be the expansion for Starfield, which I am hoping for so fast because man, I can't wait to see how bad that is gonna end up being. Okay? I just can't wait to see how bad an expansion for Starfield is gonna be. Again, we have the lead writer of Starfield literally going on Twitter tirades explaining how he's not a complete moron and how his vision of whatever is greatness and that he's a good writer. Bro, that same person is making Starfield's expansion story. Dude, we already had to deal with Starfield, the worst dialogue in the history of, well, honestly, kind of. I think Starfield, unironically, could be the worst dialogue ever written in AAA gaming history, considering how brain damaged most of it was. And the same's gonna happen for the expansion. The story's probably gonna make no sense. There's probably gonna be more swirly things that you pick up. And by the way, that's pretty much a guarantee, because imagine an expansion where you don't get any more Dragon Space shouts. Yeah. There's gonna be more swirly things to pick up. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be beautiful.
Get a bit of a preview of some of the new modding tools and what you could do with them, featuring a couple of community-made mods by early creators invited to the program. Or even to go a completely different route, they could shadow drop the Fallout 4 next-gen update. We don't really know where that stands development-wise, we just know it was delayed into 2024, but each of those seem like very plausible ways Bethesda could pop up here, although I think the most realistic fifth developer is going to be around Stoic Studios and Towerborn. Towerborn is also coming at some point in 2024, and a showcase along with a beta drop seems incredibly likely and a really fitting announcement for this type of event. Beyond that, there are of course tons of hopes and rumors of this Oblivion remake or remaster.
Is this supposed to be impressive? A bunch of dudes with sticks going around and beating stuff up? Can Africa not sue for trade right infringement?
Event. Beyond that, there are of course tons of hopes and rumors of this Oblivion remake or remaster being.
I already gave my opinion about Oblivion Remaster. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's gonna be a disaster. Because Oblivion is one of those situations where you have good memories of it because you did it as a kid, but it does not withstand the test of time at all. And it will definitely not be good enough for modern audiences. The combat system alone is gonna make people not play this.
Here, this too pops up on that leaked Bethesda roadmap, and it's too slated in the same year as Starfield DLC and Indiana Jones, which are both looking like they're coming out.
Well, that's it from our best boy Juiceheady. Bless ya. Oh man, this is gonna be wild. This is gonna be exactly what you expect, honestly, right? Anyway, this was Quizzer Sensei. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye bye.